I just have one question for this holiday season. What happened to the Black Christmas franchise? So I've talked a lot about Black Christmas, the original slasher film from 1974, how that movie really is an achievement. It's a crown for the slasher genre because it's really the film that started the entire slasher craze. Not Halloween, not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was this little Canadian film called Black Christmas that still to this day is very chilling and very much in the vein of what you want for those good, classic, masterful slasher films. But since it came out in 1974, there have been multiple attempts to try to bring this franchise or this film back into relevancy. They did an attempt in 2006 with this film called Black Xmas, and that movie has some really weird issues with it. It's kind of fun in terms of like the aesthetic. It looks like a Christmas movie. It's got some nice gore, it's got some nice kills, but there's a lot of weird things about it. Why is Billy yellow? Why is Agnes played by a man? There's a lot of really interesting and weird decisions that this movie has. Why are they also cannibals? So you go from that to then they tried rebooting it with Blumhouse in 2019, and they made something that is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't even want to talk about that film because I have a video up on the channel very soon dissecting Black Christmas 2019. It'll be up before you even know it, and I will be talking a lot about that film, giving it a second chance. And let me just say, it's still bad. It's still bad. It's just as bad as I remember it, maybe even worse. But what happened to Black Christmas? Why have they not been able to capitalize on the genius and the brilliance of that first movie? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I think that the movie itself, it's a masterwork, right? And a lot of filmmakers, they don't want to replicate something. They want to take that thing that they love and appreciate and try to do something new with it and give it a new spin. Now, Glenn Morgan, the man who directed the 2006 film, really tried doing something completely different. Yes, he had Billy. Yes, he had a lot of the core elements from the original film, including the very creepy and disturbing calls, but the movie fleshed out a lot of the characters. We actually got to see more characters in this movie. There were more really empowering females in this film. But I think the biggest problem with this movie is that this movie really leans heavily into absurdity. It leans into, okay, now this is just stupid territory. And that's all the movie ever is able to do. Again, I talked about it, but Billy has yellow skin. His mom rapes him, and he's also Agnes's not just brother, but her father. And there's like this really just stupid, almost white trashiness to the film that I don't like. It felt to me like this movie was trying to maybe go a little too far out of the limits of what Black Christmas at its core is about, because the original film does such a good job of being subtle. It does a very good job of really not focusing on Billy, the character, but focusing more on the tragedy and the trials of these characters. They're going through changes. Our main character, played by Olivia Hussey, she is really going through a lot. You know, she's trying to decide whether or not to have an abortion, and it's really one of those first movies that kind of ask that question about abortion and kind of bring it up as a topic in a conversation starter. This movie doesn't do any of that. It's kind of a lot of rinse, wash, repeat that we've seen from other horror films that are just better from other slasher movies. Friday the 13th, Halloween, you name it. I mean, you can name even smaller films that really this movie tries to be just like, and it just doesn't work. It falls flat on its face. The 2019 movie, the problem with that movie is it's just a message. That's all it is. There's nothing about this movie that screams Black Christmas. The snow looks so fake. And again, I'm not going to dive deep into this because I'm doing an entire video for this movie. But the movie just doesn't work because it should have been titled something else completely. Because it's not a Black Christmas movie. It's not a remake. It's a movie that doesn't really know what it wants to be. And it just took the name of Black Christmas to try to sell more tickets, because Black Christmas is a cult classic film. So it's very concerning, it's frustrating that me being a big fan of the original Black Christmas, we haven't been able to really get that justice yet. There is a fan film out there called It's Me, Billy, directed by Dave McCrae, and that is a film that is extremely well done. It feels perfect to the continuity and the timeline of Black Christmas and where it would be today. And if you want your Black Christmas feel and you want a story that actually makes sense and is good, I recommend that one. But still, why can't a major studio, a tentpole studio, come in and make a fleshed out, good Black Christmas film? We've already seen 2 remakes, so I mean, try maybe doing a sequel, try doing maybe even a spin-off. I mean, there's different directions that you can take this premise in this film, and there just hasn't been anything good yet. So I have hope. I still believe that someday we will get a good Black Christmas, either remake or requel or sequel or something in that vein. And I think that us Black Christmas fans can be happy. But if you want to watch Black Christmas in the way that it should be watched, and the best way to be able to fall in love with this film, watch the original and watch It's Me, Billy. The 2006 remake is not horrible. It's not the worst thing ever, but if you do watch it, just know that there's cannibalism. There's Billy is making really weird decisions. He has yellow skin. Agnes is played by a man. And there's a lot of weird things about that movie. So just go in knowing that the movie's going to be very, very odd. And it doesn't scream at all in the same vein of what the original film was doing. So these are just kind of my thoughts. I wanted to make a video on Black Christmas because I love the original film so much. And to me, I just wish that this franchise, and it's not even a franchise, but that this film, Black Christmas, would be so respected and regarded by the directors and the people trying to kind of bring this back into relevancy today. So let me know your guys' thoughts on what I just talked about and shared with you. Is there a film that you wish could get like a better treatment in terms of a remake or a sequel? Let me know those thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.